All right. Make sure everything's looking good. So, I've been grinding on my character. This is a guy named Prune Juicer because that's whatever I came up with. I'm kind of surprised because he's apparently now level 77, which is higher than my Gemling Legionnaire, which was level 75. I stopped having fun. I thought it was so clunky playing the gas grenade. And it's crazy to say I've been having more fun playing the warrior. But that's only because of the totem situation, which I'm going to show. So let's get in here and let's grind it out. And let me turn on the audio. Okay. So, I had some ideas for what I need to do here. I don't think that it's capturing my game audio. Let me see here. Do I just need to turn it up a crap ton? Let me see. What is the night mode audio mix? That's interesting. Okay, it should be capturing audio. Let me see here. There it is, and it's way too loud. Test. Turn these down. Turn this down. Turn this down. Turn this down a little bit. Hopefully it's not too crazy. I'll fix it as I go, if anything crazy happens. That's pretty loud still. That's a little bit better. Alright. So I had an idea. Yesterday I farmed a lot of exalts. Now I have 14. The chance orb is worth like 7 exalts. So if you can somehow farm your uniques, go through your stash tab, find all the ones that you're not using, that you're just holding on to, you can maybe pull a sick chance orb. Like these ones, I'm just going to disenchant them. And it's probably more valuable than just holding on to them, waiting for somebody to buy it with 1 exalt. There's a tip for you. Now I have 7 chance shards. When I get 3 more, I'll have 7 more exalts, which is great. Okay. So I was laying in bed and I couldn't sleep last night. I was thinking about how to make this build work. As you can see, I have these ancestral totems, and they're containing Sunder on them. The trick with this build, though, is the only stat that actually matters is having this +5 to all level of melee skills. But it can go up to +6, and it can actually go up to +7 somehow. I think if you corrupt it, maybe it goes up to +7 or something like that. I'm not sure. Maybe there's an amulet or whatnot. I know you can get an amulet that has +2 melee skills, which I definitely want to work towards. But that's not what I was thinking about last night. I was thinking about this last night. Because the issue with having +6 melee skills on your gear is that you can see I even have 15% reduced attribute requirements, and this is still 114 strength. The issue is we have this little node called Giant's Blood, which makes it so I can two-wield a two-handed things. So I have a two-handed mace right here and a two-handed shield right here. That's not a two-handed shield. That's just a one-handed shield. But previously you couldn't hold both of these together. With this node, you can. So I'm wondering, but here's the downside that everybody's been complaining about. This second line of text right here. Triple attribute requirements of weapons. Now, 114 times 3 is manageable. 114 strength for this. That has 15% reduced attribute requirements. On the maces that I've seen that have +6 or +7 melee skills, it's like 140, 150 strength. And that's an issue because I don't have enough strength for that. Right now I have 364. So, what I'm going to try to do, which this might be horrible, but it's okay. This is all a test anyway. My ascendancies that I picked the first time was this one and this one. I believe this is the Titan ascendancy, not the Warbringer. I had this, which made it so all my hits were crushing blows. But the more I play this build, the less important stunning enemies is, but more so breaking their armor. So I believe taking these two away and clicking these two, hulking form, this is like the best passive in the entire game. I think this might make the difference so that I might be able to have enough strength so I can hold a crazy axe that has +6 to melee, and maybe even 2 of them. But let's see. So what we need to do is refund my passives. In the previous game, refunding your ascendancies costed like a little chunk of change, but now I have so much gold, it doesn't even matter. So let's take away these. And let's apply it. Let's keep track of how much my strength increases right here. 4% increased and 50% increased of small passive skills. People are confused about what this actually means. I think this just means the attribute skills. Not notables. So whatever a notable keystone... Wait. Pin it. Small passive skills are passives that are not notables. Keystone, ascendancy, passive skills, or passive skills. So I think it just means your attribute skills, unless I don't understand, which I probably don't. All right. So we're at 364 right now. When I do this, it should go up a lot. 420. That's not as much as I thought it would. That's not as much as I thought it would. Interesting. So if I look at these, +5 to strength. Let's see what my damage on my Sunder is now. Before it was like 3-6 or something. Okay, this definitely went up. Now it's at 4.2, 4,200. So my Sunder is doing a lot more damage. Like, that's almost 1,000 more DPS because of that. But they're not crushing blows anymore. So now that I have 420, what's 420 divided by 3? Let me pull out the calculator. Because if it's any more than that, if the strength requirement on the maces is any more than that, then I can't hold it right now. 420 divided by 3 is 140. See, even still, that's... I mean, that's close, but I don't think that's where it needs to be. That's the issue. So maybe I can buy a two-handed mace that has like plus 20 strength on it, and that will help me out. Because a lot of these other stats don't matter at all. This is really the only one. These two are... these 3 stats are doing nothing for me. So, I want to run a map and just see what this feels like. And see if it's something we need. It was a massive error, and I'm doing like so much less damage. Okay, let's test it out. The Sulfuric Caverns. I think this is like a C tier map. But it's not the worst. Could be a lot worse. Let's see how this goes. Well, I'm doing damage. I'm getting hit and my life isn't really going down. That's something I've noticed a little bit. That's not how it was before. I was chugging a lot more life flasks before. I was listening to a podcast where they were talking about Path of Exile 2. And one of the dudes says he picks up every single weapon and he crafts on every single weapon that is for his class or for his build. So like if he was playing Ranger, he picked up every single bow, for instance, and he tried crafting on every single one using, you know, augmentations, exalts, whatever. He said he was never able to pull off the stats that he needed to pull off. And that's why people are angry about crafting in this game. Because it's really not crafting. It's basically just throwing it into the gambling machine and hoping that it slams something that you need for your build. And this dude that has been playing the game religiously says he picks up everything and he's not able to hit anything that he needs, which is crazy. And I have felt something very similar for that. I pick up maces, every mace that I see, two-handed mace, and I at least throw on the first 2 modifiers on it. And I see if any of them, even just the first 2, are ever worthwhile, and they aren't. The best thing I can ever get is getting increased physical damage. I don't know if I've ever gotten the plus to melee skills within the first 2 mods. Even just a lower level enchantment, I don't know if I've ever got that. And I think that's a problem, because before you could have fun and you could throw it into the crafting table in Path of Exile 1, and it actually made a humongous difference on the quality of the items that you got and that you could equip. Not the quality as in this number quality, but as in the viability of how well gear would equip or be useful for your build. Being able to just put one single mod on it was insane. Okay, we have a breach here, but in this game we don't have that. The closest thing we have to that is essences, but they seem to be really rare. Another person in the podcast, or maybe it was a different podcast, was talking about how rare essences are, and he says he has like 6 of them, of the best, like the greater essences or whatever. He has like 6 of them, and he probably has like 1,000 hours in this game already, and that's a problem if we're supposed to be crafting a lot. Is this a boss? Oh, I didn't know this one had a boss fight. Alright, this will be a good test for a build. Alright, I'm seeing good damage here. And I'm still having absolutely 0 problems stunning them. That was pretty good for a boss clear, compared to what it was before.
In the right hands, this could forge something truly exceptional.
I'll take this. No, not that one. I'll take that. Check it out. 37 cold resist is pretty good, but mine is better because I bought it from the trade site. We can upgrade Infernal Cry. I think I'm liking my damage more. I think it actually is making a difference, having hulking form on the Ascendancy tree. My crushing blows was pretty useful for a while, but I think this is better. By maybe like a 30%, maybe 25% difference. I was doing some research last night when I couldn't sleep. Trying to think things out in my head. We got a rare right here. Let's see how we do. Pretty good. And let's swing around and grab these other rares. Somebody wants to buy something from me. I haven't seen that in a long time. I don't even remember what this item is. Let's see. Oh yeah, these are pretty good. Here you go, sir. Thank you. And transmutation is. I always forget the name of this one. The Orb of Transmutation. So let's pop this on here. 102 maximum life. That's pretty good. Is it worth throwing a Regal Orb onto? I don't know. But here, let me give you guys an example of what I was talking about. So far, we found these 2 maces. So we're going to see if within 4 stats we can get plus to any melee. Neither of those. Neither of those. Both of these are absolutely horrible for my build. Man, this one's the better one. But it's still, like, they're both useless to me. And maybe we should hold on to the shield. It's not like, it's not crazy, but I guess it's fine. Maybe if we want an extra for some reason. And we'll throw these in here and we'll go finish the map. I think there was a breach on here, and I know there's these more rares that we got to kill. I'm always having struggles with the visual clarity with this build and just with this game in general. I didn't really notice it, honestly, until like yesterday, to be honest. Because my Sunders, when they slam, They just like add this like cloud of smoke to the screen, and they throw all these rock shards up into the air. And it's pretty hard to see what's going on. Wow, we didn't get one single exalt from that. That's crazy. I did get a Val Orb. That's good. I needed those. Alright, so that was pretty good. That was better than I thought it would be, honestly. Usually when I make these drastic changes to my build, that ends up breaking my build. I've done that like 5 times among different characters in the first and the second game. It's like you have an idea of something you want to change. This guy's still here? Get out of my freaking trade area, bruh. Maybe somebody would buy this. 20.6 life regen? That's kind of crazy. Not a bad helmet. But bad for me. Okay. That was interesting. I think we had some good returns on that choice that I made. I think I'm going to keep running maps. I would like to get 20 exalts before I look at the trade site and try to buy a better mace. All of these are bad modifiers. Nothing there is good for me. Let's Val Orbit. Okay, all of this is bad. We'll run it anyway. Let's go to the Abyss. Yesterday I tried twice to do my third Ascendancy. As you could see, I only have done my 2 of them because I only have 4 points here. And I tried twice and I still couldn't get it. The third floor of the Sekimas is so hard as melee and even as totem. It's so hard. So that's why I couldn't sleep last night. I was just thinking, how can I increase my damage and my defense in order to be able to do that? But to be honest, I don't even think I will take Crushing Blow again. Like, I was thinking about this and doing research yesterday. I'm not sure what the best thing to take is besides Crushing Blow. Maybe just more maximum life and regen right here. Definitely not armor. Armor sucks. Probably this one. 15% more max life. Let's keep on keeping on. This is a decent map. I agree with the complaints that there are too many maps in this game that have like horrible layouts for spreading things out and killing a lot of monsters at once. I feel as though it was pretty short-sighted of them to think that the combat in this game would not be as wide and as expansive, like in terms of the skill effects, just like blowing up the whole screen. That's what everybody worked towards. And the reason why everybody works towards that is because that's the most effective at clearing out the monsters the quickest. So it was short-sighted, I think, of GGG to make these tiny small maps. That seems like it encourages more like smaller encounters. But that's not what it's all about. Melee was the chance to prove that that could work, but they horribly messed up melee. I mean, I guess it could be worse, but it's pretty freaking bad. I can't imagine not running totems. Just being my bare physical hand, especially trying to do the ascendancy trials, is hell on earth, bro. Because there's so many factors that are just against melee. And it's disheartening because in the promotional materials leading up to Path of Exile 2 coming out, they talked about how much work they put into melee to make it feel good. But then when we actually got it, it was like by far the worst class in the game. And I'm fine if it's the worst class. But I just hate how it seems like certain mechanics are just straight up unfair against warriors, especially the no-hit trial stuff. Like, how am I gonna do like the honor system in Trial of Secamus is designed basically in direct conflict with how the melee, like a pure melee class would play. Because one of the conceits of playing melee is that you have to get up close to them in order to make things happen. My build isn't a great example of this because I'm using totems. I'm not a pure melee, even though I want it to be. I tried to make rolling slam good. It's not. It sucks. You can kind of make it work when you're just doing maps, but especially in bosses and especially in the trials. Not Ultimatum. I forgot what the other one's called. Sanctum. It's just horrible. And it's not even, it's just a little bit harder. I feel as though it's in direct conflict with how the class plays. And you're being punished heavily for it. And that is a feels bad, man. For sure. F mana drain. All my homies hate mana drain. Dude, that guy had like 6 mods and I still didn't get an exalt from it. What is going on? I have both of my charges. Or both of my charms. And you want to see what my magic find is that everybody's been talking about? It's great to stack it up. My Hammer of the Gods definitely went up when I changed my passive. Look at this. 102% increase. Plus 20 and 20. That's 142%. And I still haven't gotten an exalt from the past 2 maps. That's a problem. I'm really curious at seeing how other people have been handling their currency situation that aren't just like giga grinders playing the game for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours a day. At most, I'm playing this game for 4 on a weekend. And I have 20 exalts to my name. A lot of it has gone into my gear and crafting. But when I learned that crafting, like I was talking about earlier, is like the most useless thing in the entire world, and trying to make your own gear better, I just traded, and my character's power levels went through the roof just from trading for like things that were 1 or 2 exalts. I mean, think about it. I can get a piece of gear that will increase my build, like the output of my damage by 15%, and if I pay 1 exalt for it. But if I wanted to not just use the trade site and actually craft on things with my bare hands, it would take 4 exalts per item, and that's not even guaranteeing certain mods that I want on there. So you're basically burning through your money, guessing if it's going to put it on there. And that is horrible.
I've nowhere to keep that.
I always pick up every mace, and I see if it has anything on it that's good. Because for all intents and purposes, I have an unlimited scrolls of wisdom and unlimited orbs of transmutations. So I'm not worried about those. Exalts, though? Those are pretty pricey. I have 20 to my name. So, like, let me explain this. So, this mace that I just got, it gave 145 to accuracy and 17 to strength. Let's say on my build I really needed the strength, which I do actually. If I wanted to further craft this, first it costs a regal orb. This will make it a magic. For the sake of whatever, I'm just going to do it. Oh, whoa, it has critical damage bonus. That is actually good for my build, because my Sunders guarantee a crit. What GGG wants me to do right now is burn through 3 exalts to maybe get plus 5 or 6 to melee skills. That's insane. Because you know what I can do? I can just go to PoE2trade.com, put the filter to plus 6 melee, plus 17 strength, plus 17 critical damage bonus, and pay 2 exalts for it. That's why it's broken. That's why it doesn't work. I think there should be a way that you can pay an amount of... This one's good for my build. Not as good as what I got, though. I think there should be a way that you can pay an amount of exalts from your own currency and guarantee a certain mod on your item. I think that would be a step towards fixing it. I don't know if that would fix it in the long run, especially in the giga high tier people that have basically unlimited money, but it would definitely help a lot of people out. So this is a question that I had. I'm glad I have one of these. So I could throw this. Actually, I can't. This is perfect. So usually I've been throwing it on my Ancestral Warrior totem, but now it's already at level plus 20. Excuse me. So I wonder if I take my Sunder out right here. It doesn't have any quality on it. And I put this on here. Will it increase my damage? No, it didn't. Additional effects from quality. Skills can be managed in the skills panel. I don't know what that means. Okay. Let's keep on keeping on. I think my goal at the end of this is to attempt once again our awesome trial of Sekimas to see if we can actually complete it. It's a garbage map. Let's just throw it in here and do it so that we can open up the area. Wait, isn't Forge like the worst map in the entire game? Oh no, this one's good. I like this one. There's one that's called like Val Foundry, which is the worst map in the game. I hate it so much. It's basically the same level as that that one area in the campaign that had the guy inside the forge, the lava pit, the level leading up to that guy, if you actually pay attention during it, it sucks so hard. There's like bookshelves and weird crap everywhere that makes the walkway super narrow, and there's so many doors blocking every path. It's the worst of the worst. It's probably good for SRS though. I'm curious to all the people that have been playing more meta builds and are not Giga Grinders. They're slightly more casual like I am. If they think that the meta builds are as overpowered as YouTube videos make them out to be. Because obviously somebody... Dude, if somebody plays for like 100 hours a week, they can make even a crappy build look good. They can farm divines or whatever. They got time to burn. Bruh. That was dumb. Alright, well. Guess we won't see the end of that map. But for people that aren't... That was so dumb what just happened. I can't even process it. There was two fat guys that just exploded. I was a little bit a ways away from them, but I guess not ways away enough. This is actually a decent mace. This is one of the first times ever. This is the first time ever that I've gotten a mace that has both increased physical damage and adds 17 to 34 physical damage. If this was on a two-handed mace, then it would actually be good for leveling the warrior. But it's on a one-handed mace, which makes... I don't know. Maybe somebody could use this. I'll throw it right here. If nobody bites, then it's just gonna go to the garbage can. One exalt. I've never gotten a divine before in this game. In my entire PoE life, I think I've dropped maybe 2 or 3 raw divines that I didn't get from trading. All the divines I've ever made was from doing Blight and selling the Crimson Oil. And Blight is not in here. And I understand why Blight isn't in here. I was also thinking about this yesterday. I can use this one. Guaranteed the reason why Blight isn't a thing in this. I want to save this one. 18% increased quantity and rarity. I want to save that one. How about this? The reason why Blight isn't in this game is because the performance would be horrible. It would be unplayable. The hardest difficulties of Blight in the first game, it already was unplayable, and that was on their old engine. This has much more graphically intensive effects and animations and textures. If you had a lot of these on the screen, which is what Blight is all about, it would be horrible. How did homie just gain all his cup recovery back? All his health back? If they were to add Blight in, it would be mandatory for them to add a version that didn't have the skill effects, or else it just wouldn't play. It wouldn't be possible. I think in an ideal world, if they were to add Blight back, it'd be something that had 10% of the graphic, I don't know what you would call it, the graphic resource cost for the game and for your PC for skill effects. Basically remove 90% of the skill effects, visuals, and then they could buff certain mechanics because you could actually see what was going on. I think that could be cool. Like they would have to do each enemy is represented by like a little line. And each effect is represented by a slightly bigger line. They could not have all the textures of all the enemies and all the effects going on at once. So it would have to be a complete overhaul and something completely different from the first game. See, like right here, there's 4 or 5 enemies on the screen, and my game is lagging. You can see my FPS up here. I don't know, maybe you guys can't. 55 FPS during that little scenario, and the game was struggling. I don't think it's my PC that's struggling. I think it's the system of the game. I feel as though I'm chugging more mana than I used to be. But that doesn't make sense because I didn't change anything to affect my mana. So that's something I think I'm going to have to work on later. Got an Exalt! Yay! So let's keep track. 3 maps, 1 Exalt. With 140 magic find. Let's keep on grinding through here. I don't hate this map. It works well for my Sunder setup. And it's a wide enough little hallway that I can actually walk around and dodge things if I need to. We have a secret passageway. Where's the rare at? It's impossible to see him. There he is. See, I'm getting 30 FPS right now. I don't even have it on max settings. There's too much stuff going on that's clouding the screen. Thank you. That guy was annoying. I need to not forget to go back and do that breach. But the dumb thing about only having one map portal is that I can't really do it as I encounter it. I have to wait till the end after I've already completed the map. Because the breach is definitely the hardest part of the game for me. So there's probably a 50% chance I'm gonna die. Alright, let me get some mana charges. And we'll go do the breach. Alright, let's waddle around here. So we got one Exalt, finally. Alright, here we go. Everybody ready? Probably gonna die. I haven't died yet. Sick. From doing that, I got one rare, which means it's going to be one Regal Shard. And look, we have our nice little hideout to wrap it up. Our little portal. "15% increased movement speed." Garbage. Garbage. Boots that don't have movement speed are garbage. Don't know why I have that. This is horrible. Don't need that. Let's see if we get a charm slot. And we didn't, so it's garbage. We got one Exalt, and we'll keep track of all the Exalts we get. And we'll salvage this. Since upgrading my Sunder doesn't do anything, I mean, I could probably put it on my Hammer of the Gods. Maybe that would help something. Actually, we can see. Let me see. Cooldown recovery rate? That's worth it. Cool. And we're on to the next one. I haven't got a single tier 6 map, bro. If I combine together 5s, does that make it 6? Let's see. I don't know how many I need. Not that. Let's just check with Google. Can I don't know how you want to word this. Craft higher maps using old maps. PoE2. And they're not called maps, they're called waystones. You can upgrade maps 3 to 1 in the reforging bench. Perfect. That's exactly what I needed to know. Oh, the reforging bench. Do I even have it out here? I haven't used that in a long time. Let's put a reforging bench down. Hey, look, there's these things. So apparently we can put 3 of these in here. Yeah, alright, that's huge for me. Because I have a lot of crappy maps. Do I have another mace that is the same type in here? I'm gonna put you right here. I'm gonna put you guys right here. If I get another mace that has +3 to level of all melee skills, I want to test and see if it keeps that enchantment if I reforge it. Anyways, let's keep going.
Onward without hesitation.
I would love to see further optimization improvements because I think this game really needs it. At least it's not unplayable. But if you're getting down to 30 FPS, that's pretty bad. Whoa, we got a unique. What's it gonna be? I know everybody's talking trash about the uniques in this game because they're almost useless. But I still think it's kind of fun seeing what they do. Let's check out this one. Dyed Bell. 85 increased armor, Warcry speed. Corpses in your presence explode when you Warcry, doing 10% of their life as physical damage. Warcry skills a 25 increased area of effect. See, that's kind of cool. I think this is one of the cooler uniques I've seen. Is it worth 1 exalt on the market? Yeah, probably. I kind of like last epoch systems of uniques because I forgot what it's called, like Weaver's Will, maybe? You could throw a random enchantment on there, so it made it so you could still have the ability of the unique, but also you could get a little bit of help from whatever stat the Weaver's Will granted. And some of them that were really good could have multiple Weaver's Will slots on them, which was cool. So, like, imagine if I had this helmet right here. It would have a little piece of text that said 4 Weaver's Will slots. And just by playing the game, it would, like, unravel it, is what it would called. And you would see further what the enchantments would be on there. And so you could potentially get, like, plus 100 life on your unique helmet, which is really cool. Look at that. I'm getting the red ground on the wooden bridge. This game is garbage. Look at that. That actually looks cool, even though it doesn't make sense. It's kind of crazy how much feel and character the game has in levels like this where it's just the desert pretty much. It's crazy how much feel it has just by turning the sand red. Like, it makes it feel very unique and very memorable when they could have easily just made it tan. But tan sucks. Light tan sucks. Everybody hates sand. Dude, I got a thawing charm. No way. Body blocked. Thank you. See, my mana is actually a problem. I think instead of throwing down 3 totems basically every 10 steps, I'm going to try to just throw down 1 totem every 10 steps. Because it's still clearing out all these dumb mobs. Should be alright. I like taking long walks on the beach. Imagine if that was a divine. It wasn't. It was something just as good. A scroll of wisdom. This is a perfect example of where the map terrain doesn't really do what you think it was. I would think I could just walk across here, but I can't. Dude, is there any rare mobs in this entire map? I played a map yesterday that had 1 rare in it. 1 single rare. That's bad. And when I say rare, I mean rare enemy. Hey, look, here's one. 2 of them. Dude, I got a tiara. Hammer of the Gods. No exalt. And it looks like there's 1 more rare. If I hadn't picked certain things on my Atlas passive, this map would have had 3 rares, which I think is bad. I think a map should have at least 5. Like, that's bare minimum. 5 is minimum. And I even juiced this one a little bit. Okay. This map is done. We got a Val Orb. Guess that's alright. Critical damage and physical damage. It's not worth using my regals on it. Uh, Let me check the trade site. This item is called Deed Bell. See what it's worth. Dude, 1 Val Orb. If it's worth 1 Val Orb, that means that it's actually worth 1 Chance Shard. So long. Okay. %40 reduced flask charges. This one sucks. Alright, I just juiced up a map because I want to do this one. I just spent more money on it than I've gotten in the past hour. So we'll see if it's worth it. Alright, looks like this map isn't horrible for my build. I'm not going to die to those guys again. If I can help it. I think the biggest problem of this build is that it takes a very long time in relativity for your Sunder totems to actually slam down. Like, I have to cast it, then they have to jump up, then they have to hit the ground, then the shockwave has to travel across. And all of that is, of course, dependent on if I have mana or not, which I guess is how every skill is, but still. It's pretty clunky. Dude, where did all my mana go? Dude, something just drained my mana right there. Oh, it's because I don't have flask charges gained. If neither of these guys drops an exalt, that's insane. Because I spent like 3 juicing up this map. Alright, that guy basically dropped nothing. Bruh! The only thing I got from those guys was gold. Are you serious? Holy smokes. Three exalt to get 100 gold. So after 1 hour of playing, I'm down like 2 exalts. And my character has gotten like 5 bars in the XP bar. But hey, at least the game is giving me plenty of support gems. I need all those I can get. I'm playing so careful because I don't want to die. Dude, how is he alive?